Hey, it's James. Welcome back to the channel. And I've been helping people get started making money online for years and years and years. I've helped over 2,000 clients get started on their e-commerce journey. You can see thousands of the client success stories and the interviews all over my channel. But in this video today, what I wanted to do is get raw and real about how I would go out there and make $100,000 online as a complete beginner in a single year without having to do anything too complex, techie, or even having any experience at all. Now, none of this is going to be sexy. It's going to require work. Going to require time, but if you're willing to dedicate a bit of effort each and every day to follow what I'm about to outlay for you and cross-reference a few of the trainings here on my YouTube channel, you're going to have everything that you need to make this happen with enough determination and time. Now, obviously, this is not a get-rich-quick scheme. I'm not going to teach you how to click your fingers and have $100,000 land in your lap, but with that being said, I'm sure you know that by now. Let's dive in. The very first thing that I would do is I would cut out every single distraction that's in your life right now, getting in the way of your attention being on making that $100,000 online. That can be anything. That can be toxic friends. It can be TV shows you're binging. It could be too much time on Instagram Reels. It doesn't matter what it is. Take note of where you're spending your time each and every day and ask yourself, is this going to help me on my journey to making money online? Or is it just taking time away from things that matter? Now, whether you do that by going ahead and putting screen time limitations or app time restrictions on your phone, or you just make the mental decision to catch yourself whenever you do it, I don't care. The most important thing is you take note of what's stealing your attention, cut it out so you can focus on what's going to make you money. And bear in mind, none of us are perfect. When I was starting out, one of the biggest things that I had taken up a lot of my time was Call of Duty. It was around when Call of Duty World War II was coming out, and it was also Black Ops 3 was one of my favorites, but I was playing a hell of a lot of Call of Duty. Team Deathmatch was my life, but it takes up a few hours of my day. And when I was starting out, I didn't have 18 million hours to do this. I was doing it after work, outside of my other responsibilities. And so I had to pull back on my Call of Duty time. I had to do it. And if you're in that boat as well, sometimes it's what you got to do. And even now, where I have multiple businesses, I have multiple staff, I still have moments when I realize, hey, my time is drifting a little bit too far towards a new game or maybe a TV show I'm watching. Like it happens to the best of us. It's not going to be something that you cut out once and never gets in the way again. Always going to be things that are getting in the way, that are distracting you from what you need to be doing. And there's nothing wrong with having a bit of fun here, there. But if you have a goal and you're working towards something, you've got to keep that in check. So where you are right now, you're starting to make money online, take note of everything that's in your way, cut it out, and focus on the path ahead. Now, the next thing is go all in on one thing. You see, the biggest thing I see that gets in the way of a lot of beginners is I'll meet them and say, yeah, James, I'm trying to make money online. And they start telling me what their plans are. And it's like, I'm doing FBA and I'm doing day trading. I've got a social media marketing on the side. And I'm also doing ecom. And also I'm networking 7 days a week. It's like, dude, there's no way that that's going to work. Because what happens is if you have a certain amount of energy and you can take that and put it into one thing, and that's the only thing that you focus on, you're going to be able to put 100% of your effort and time, attention into one thing. And the odds of you being successful with that is through the roof. Versus if you have this amount of attention, but you have to put it into 18 different things, it's easy to only get like 10%, 5% of your energy. And therefore, you're never going to be able to have enough time and dedication to those things to make all of them successful. So if you're looking to get started, the very first thing you need to do, outside of cutting out the distractions, is going to be going all in on one thing. Now, I'm not here to tell you which business model is the best, perfect one, because at the end of the day, almost everything works, but not everything is going to work for you. So for example, the majority of people who come to watch my channel are people who are 9-to-5ers, they're busy, they have a life, they have an income, they have, people they have to look after, and they only have a certain amount of time in the day. They're not somebody who's already making money online and they have all the time in the world. These are people who are trying to make their first 3 to 4 to 5 to 10 grand per month online with no experience. And so then I wouldn't recommend them to go into something like trading because it requires a ton of money and a hell of a lot of risk. I wouldn't recommend they start a social media marketing agency or get into remote sales because that's a glorified job in itself. I wouldn't recommend them doing some big complex business model, like Amazon FBA or something like that, because the bottom line is they don't have the experience, they don't have the time to make it work. They want something simple, streamlined, only takes about an hour per day, and most importantly, works, which is why on this channel, we teach something called the Ecom Boss system, which in simple words is just selling products online on free platforms on your phone. Meaning you never have to build a Shopify store, spend any money on ads. You just sit there 30 minutes a day, 60 minutes a day, put banger products up on these platforms like Facebook Marketplace or eBay or Etsy. And then once you start making sales, which we're very good at doing, you can go through the training on the channel to get a glimpse of how to do that. Then you have a supplier who ships it out for you. And everyone wins. You win because you make a ton of money. The supplier wins because they get paid for the product. And then the customer wins because they get the product that they wanted. And because it's the easiest business model that I've ever seen for beginners, it's something you can set up within an hour or two. You can learn the skills super quickly, and it only takes a very short amount of time each and every day to run. Now, if you want to learn how to do that, there is a ton of free training here on my channel. I'll link a couple of really good trainings below so you can get your feet wet, but the bottom line is pick a business model that works for you. I recommend our Ecom Boss system, which is organic dropshipping, but whatever business model works for you, go all in on that. Do not spread your energy among 17 different things, one thing and one thing only. Now, lastly, do not, and I repeat, do not look up until you're making money. So you've cut out distractions, you've chosen a business model, and now you're sitting there following a plan. You're building a business, following a business model, and I want to make sure that you don't give up too soon. As I've talked about on the channel before, the worst thing you can do is give up too soon because you're not making money within your first 2 days or 2 weeks. It's ridiculous. What you want to do is sit down, head down, work on the business until you start making money. Then you can look up and start looking at the future. Because the biggest thing is, until you've got money coming in, you shouldn't be focusing on anything else. Making your first dollar online is always going to be the hardest one. Not because it's difficult, but because you haven't got the skills. You haven't done this stuff before. So you want to put all of your attention onto one thing and focus on it until it's starting to make you money. Because the first dollar online is always going to be the hardest. But once you've done it, you can repeat it 2, 3, 4, 5, 10, 100, 1,000 times over. It's just like baking a cake. If you want to learn how to make a cake, you go through and you find a recipe that works. Once you've tried it, you take the cake out of your oven, you eat it, it's a good cake, then beautiful. All you need to do to make more cakes is to follow the recipe again and again and again. Same with making money online. Head down until you make your first dollar online. Now you've got a repeatable process. I'm just going to keep following it over and over again to make more money and go from your first $100, first $1,000, first $10,000, and ultimately to your first $100,000. It's just a case of multiplying what's already working. Which brings me to the last point. Scale what's working. Once you've got sales and traction and income coming in from the business model that you chose, you then want to scale the things that are actively paying you money. So for example, when it comes to Ecom Boss, when we've got a product that's doing super well, it's going out there on a marketplace or eBay or Etsy, whichever platform it is, it's making sales each and every day, well then we're going to focus our attention to that. We might go out there and look at this product, what are similar products like this we can also sell to get more money coming in from similar channels. Additionally, if we've got this product that's doing really well and we have another one that we've tested that's similar and it's also doing well, we can start to bundle them together. For our clients, we do a lot of bundles where they may have a customer who comes for one thing and then we say, hey, would you like this one and this one? We have a really cool script for how we do it. And they go, yeah, all right, I'll take it. And that's how we take some sales from what might be a $100 sale into a $500 sale. We've got students doing $1,000 sales because we're bundling things that make sense together that we know are all winning products. So that's another example of scaling what's working. We may also have a channel like Facebook Marketplace is doing really, really well. We might want to take the products that are doing really well and put onto eBay and Etsy and try other platforms and spread out where the products are so we get more eyeballs and more income as a result. It's just a case of scaling the things that are already working, getting creative. How can I do more? How can I get more eyeballs in front of the product that's making me the money? Whatever it may be. But the bottom line is scale what's working because ultimately that's how we're going to multiply the sales that you're making, the money that you're making to go from that $1,000 to $10,000 to $100,000. It's as simple as that. Hell, we even talk about it here on the channel where we have clients who have got a product that did really, really well. And then because it's making so much money, we know it's a winning product. And we take it and we do build a Shopify store. We build a little brand around it. We run some ads. And that's how we got people like Chris, who's now doing 6-figure months with his product. He found organically using this method. We've got people like Craig who did $180,000 in a single month with one product that he found, again, using organic systems like Ecom Boss, and has now done 300-400 grand in sales just in the last couple of months alone. It's just a case of getting momentum in and then finding the thing that's working and then multiplying your efforts and scaling it up to get more eyeballs and ultimately more sales. It really is as simple as that. Going from your first 100 to your first 1,000, 10,000 to 100,000 is just doing more of the same thing that's already working. And that's it. If you're watching this video and you've made it to the end, you have everything that you need to start. You've got to cut out the distractions. You've got to pick a business model that's going to work for you. And then you're not going to look up until you start making money with it. And then for the rest of the year, you're multiplying the things that are working, cutting out the things that aren't until you get to that $100,000 in sales mark. And if you want to go faster and you want to find out more about our business model that we teach, which is the Ecom Boss system, we have AI tools we built for our clients. We show you what products to sell, how to sell it, how to run the entire business in 30 minutes a day. You can book a call with us below. It's free. You can have a chat, go through the business model in more detail, ask myself and my team any questions that you have, and we can see if it's a fit. But the bottom line is, if you watch this video through to the end, don't procrastinate on this. Don't delay on this. Don't make this another video that you watch and then never take action on it. Listen to what I've said, take notes, start now, and by the end of the year, you might not even be able to recognize yourself. Hope you got a bunch of value out of this video. I will see you in the next one. Take care.